Welcome back to the broadcast. We've got another wonderful holiday recipe for you. We are greeting Chef Stephen from Windsor Senior Living.
Hi, how are you?
Good morning. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
Tell me where Windsor is.
Windsor Senior Living is at Coit and 635 up in North Dallas. We're 5 years old. We're a nice upscale senior living. We deal with the independent and the assisted living, and we take care of all the special needs of all the residents and everything else.
Yes.
And we're really pushing a lot of the holiday entrees and everything. So
well, this looks like a meal fit for a king. So I'm excited to see what you're sharing today.
Well, this one's a very simple one. It's just a roasted pork loin that you roast in the oven. We're going to sear it off.
Okay, let's
then
do it.
we're going to put it in the oven and coat it with cranberries and everything.
So you just
what we
take
have is basic pork loin that you can go to the store and buy. And most of them are come packaged like in the Hormel package. Exactly. And what we're going to do is I've got some salt, white pepper, and garlic. And we're going to rub our meat down real well. Not too heavy, but we want it to stick on there real good.
So you want to pat it all over?
Yeah, we're going to pat it all over so that way it...
Top and bottom.
Yeah, we're going to sear it there in the skillet and throw a little port wine on there and make it taste real good.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I can't have anything without a little holiday spirits. Okay, so we're going to make that stick. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just let it sear real nicely. We'll get this up out of our way. And while that's searing, we're going to let caramelize with just a little bit of port wine around the edges.
Oh, yum.
Okay. Smells good, doesn't it?
Yum, yum.
And we're going to add just a couple little red peppers and little diced red chilies down there and kind of kick up the flavors.
Right.
But we're going to start getting our onions all ready to go.
So do you do a whole onion?
We're going to actually use about 2 whole onions.
Oh, okay.
And I prefer to use the yellow onions because of the sweetness of the flavors. Not too sharp. And we'll just kind of get these babies cut real quick.
Now, that would have taken me about 10 minutes in my house.
Well, you know, after 24 years of cutting these and millions of onions,
and
you
you're
learn
not
how to do
missing
it
any fingers.
fast.
Look at that.
But we're going to get a nice little sear on all the sides real quick.
Great.
And while we're doing the onions, we're also going to get some of these apples cut up.
All right.
And because we're going to put apples and onions and the cranberries, and I like to use some of the craisins.
Yes.
It adds a little sweetness to the flavor. And we're going to put it all in a roasted pan, and then we're going to pour some cranberry and apple juice over the top, so that way it really juices things up.
Great.
It's really nice entree.
Now, is this something maybe we could do in a crock pot? What do you think about that?
The crock pot, yeah, if you were to sear this and put it down in a crock pot and put everything in there, and then go to work or go on with your daily
Right, because I'm thinking you could sear this and go ahead and put it in a crock pot.
Yeah.
And then you could add it, just throw your onions and your craisins and your apples, and what else do we want to put in there?
We're going to put the salt, pepper, and white garlic.
A little bit of port.
A little bit of port wine, and then the cranberry juice over there.
Cranberry juice, that's what it was.
And it helps to bring out the sweetnesses of everything.
Perfect.
Now, this is a real simple little entree for the holidays, and it's a little different than your normal classic turkeys and what have you.
Right, another white meat.
Exactly.
So after you put it in the oven, how long do you roast it?
We're going to roast it for about an hour and a half at about 350. We want to check the internal temperature, and everybody can use a standard little gauge. Yeah. You want the internal temperature to be 145 degrees.
Okay.
So after we've done that...
So slow and low, really, is what you're doing.
Slow and low.
Okay.
So we'll set that aside. The reason I like to caramelize it is it really brings out the garlics and what have you in there.
On those outsides, too.
So we're going to take plenty of these onions, and don't be bashful with them, because they're going to be really nice and caramelized.
I would still be chopping onions, by the way. I'm just thinking, man, that was so fast.
Well, you know, back in the younger days, whenever I was working for these good old chefs, and they would hand you about 3 50-pound sacks of onions and say, cut them. You didn't want to be there all day. You want to hurry up and get them cut so you can go on with better things. Yeah, but you got to be careful. You got fingers to keep.
Lots of fingers. Okay, so then you put the apples on it, and what else?
Lots of apples. We're going to cover it all up. Usually use 2 onions and about 4 apples.
4 apples, all right.
Okay. And then we're going to take some of those craisins and put them around the edges down here so they sit down in the juices. You put them up on top, sometimes they'll get a little crispy, and that's fine. You can pick them right back off.
All right.
Take your apple and cranberry juice and pour it down in the bottom.
Delicious.
Like so. And that way it gives it plenty of juices, and whenever the pork's juice in itself and it's roasting, all those flavors cooked in there together, it comes out very sweet and holiday-ish, and just really outstanding recipe. And it's very simple to make.
Awesome.
So after you wrap it all up in a little foil, put it in the oven, let it bake, and it just nicely caramelizes the whole thing.
That's awesome. And so when you're done, you pull it out and you slice it.
Exactly.
And you put all the goodness back on top.
Exactly.
Pour some of that juice on it.
So everything's nice and tender. And take a spoon and just pull everything on top.
It's beautiful. Thank you so much, Stephen.
Vegetables will work.
That's awesome. What a wonderful holiday meal.
Right.
Thank you so very much for coming in.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. And you can get all this, and there are actually the recipe on our website at thebroadcasttv.com. And then you also go check out Windsor Senior Living as well while you're at it. Thank you again. All right, we'll be back with more broadcasts right after this.